Hello, viewers. We have today with us Mr. Bruno Cohen. He's the president of Galian Foundation. He's also the founder of the Jerusalem Ethics Forum. The mission of this foundation is to support scientific research and innovation to improve human conditions. Mr. Cohen is here to finalize the Modi Galian Awards to be held in India. We will have a brief chat with Mr. Cohen to know more about the foundation. Mr. Cohen, sir, it's indeed an honor and privilege to meet you.
Thank you for welcoming me.
Yeah. Is it your first trip to India? How do you find this country?
No, I came already a few times, and it's always for me.
How do you
great
find this
pleasure.
country?
Amazing, incredible India.
You must be having some other hobbies and interests besides the good work you're doing. Please share with us what you like to do in your spare time.
Right, you know, the inception of Prix Galien, Modi Prix Galien in India is a massive milestone in the history of this award. As you may know, the Prix Galien was created in 1970 in Europe, in France.
Okay.
And we had, in 2018, the creation of Prix Galien in Africa.
Okay.
And now having the Modi Prix Galien in India is a massive milestone and marks, our mission to be the pathway between the Western countries and what we call the global South. This couldn't have been possible without the invaluable contribution of Mr. Satish Kumar Modi.
So coming back to the awards, are the awards only recognition or a financial aid is also extended to the winners or participants?
It's really because when it was created in 1970, there were no recognition for the researchers working in the private sector. Of course, you had the Nobel Prize, the Lasker Award, but nothing for the researchers. So those companies like Pfizer, today, etc., are really the core of our mission is to recognize their work. They don't need really, I would say, prize money for. So there is no really money prize for attached to the Prix Galien in general.
So does the foundation also help individuals, companies, and guiding once they want to start some research work in their respective countries?
Yes, that's a very good point. Our mission is really to be the hub where we can, as we are present globally in 15 countries, one continent, is really our role is when someone, a young entrepreneurs or young companies, needs to be in touch with other structure that can help them to accelerate or help them to develop. This is our role to put them in touch with the appropriate contact there.
So may we know on what merit and criteria these awards are selected? What are the merits or criteria on the basis of selecting the awards?
The merits?
Merits of research or the criteria primarily, what is the criteria?
The criteria is, that's also a very good question. For the Prix Galien, it's really the key word is global. Global for the brand and local. Each country has its own regulations. So we agreed with the committee and with the luminaries who are part of the committee of Prix Galien India, Modi Prix Galien India, to select all those products or companies that have been approved by the local regulations entities. In example, in America, to be eligible, they have to be approved by the FDA.
FDA, yeah.
FDA. So in India, we decided to have to make sure that they had been approved by the local authorities to make sure that this is aligned with our mission.
Since you have global presence and experience, due to a lot of social, economic, and bilateral policies between countries, the basic objective of improving human conditions, does it get lost at times?
Well, if I understand well, the question is the
policies between two countries, does it hamper the work you want to do globally?
No, we are really, as you mentioned, the mission of the Galian Foundation is really to celebrate innovation that improve the human condition. This transcends all the policies. We are really a kind of global movement for celebration researchers and people who are spending their whole life to find new drugs, new treatments to improve the human condition worldwide. And this is why we do believe that healthcare and access to healthcare should benefit all and not be a privilege for a few. And this is why we having in India that kind of initiative will help us to have really a holistic approach for all what we do, and this will help us, and we hope that we will be able to take some learnings from India to bring to America, to India, to Europe, Canada, wherever in the world, because we do believe that India will be one of the key players in the next generations in the field of life science.
So, like you said, but India is still considered a developing country. But the pharmaceutical companies have had many breakthroughs. During COVID, these companies supplied vaccines to many countries and saved many lives. Where do you see India on global level in this field now?
No, I really think that pure research is coming from India, because what we are attending now is there is a converging movement between, I would say, the traditional key players, the pharma and the biotechnology companies, but now the components of IT and technology is really strategic. And we do believe that there is that converging trend where the role of the IT, where India is so powerful now, helping I would say the traditional players will make the difference. And what we attended during the COVID, that it was a kind of miracle that finding and developing a vaccine in less than 1 year couldn't have been possible without the support of IT, AI, and all those new things that really make a revolution in this industry. This is why I do believe that India, with the young, young entrepreneurs, that kind of tradition in IT, will be really something that will make the difference. And we really think that India will be one of the key players once again in life science in less than a decade now.
So how can one become a member of the prestigious Galien Foundation? Any specific benchmark or criteria or level of achievement?
To become a member of the Galien Foundation? Well, you need to be curious. Okay. That's number one. And as you know, Albert Einstein used to say that beyond knowledge is curiosity. So this is really, the talents are everywhere today. It's not something in silos, in academic or in private. It comes from everywhere. So at the moment we feel that there are a genuine feeling that they want to find new treatments, they are welcome to the tribe, to our community. We describe very often the Galien Foundation as the tribe of the innovators. So this is our main criteria.
So how is the foundation helping the upcoming highly talented new generation entrepreneurs who are capable and want to do something out of ordinary?
So this is when, once again, our role is really to be the connector, the perception is we are compared often to the Nobel Prize for life science industry. So our role at the moment, and we do that, we have several categories in Pre-Galien worldwide. Like we have a category dedicated to the incubators. So let's say you have an idea, you come from academic sector, you need to match if this idea can be a reality, then you go through several steps that can be for the legal, the patent, and then you need to find some funding to fund your research, etc. This is precisely our role, to put them in touch with the appropriate player. In a way, this accelerates the movement of innovation.
So a lot of big corporates in India are donating wholeheartedly and supporting many causes. Do you think they are still doing enough?
Well, to improve, it's never enough, and this discussion, we have it here in New Delhi, but we have it in Paris, in New York. It's never enough, because at the end of the day, when you look at the whole world, we have like 8 billion inhabitants. And when you see that at the end of the day, those who have really access to the latest innovations are very few in terms of numbers. So, but all chief of states we met, wherever, they work on two legs. One is education, the second is healthcare, because they know that educated people makes the difference, but people in good health working in their country makes also the difference for their country. So it's never enough, but we feel that India is also very interesting and I am here to learn. It's a learning curve for myself personally, but for the Gallian Foundation, just to which kind of learning we're going to take from India to help the other countries.
Sir, how has been your journey so far from Regi Media to Galien Foundation? What inspired and prompted you to be here?
Well, when I managed for like 30 years that company, Regi Media, based in Europe, the concept was affinity marketing in a way that we believe that all the life science players, the healthcare professionals, they were like communities, and we used to work with the physicians from ethnic groups that could be Vietnamese doctors, Armenian doctors, Jewish doctors, Muslim doctors. So this was my role, to be a kind of agent for those communities to stimulate their group. We created for them many series of what we call continuing medical education programs, and their house organ, their newspapers, etc. So this was a community, and we were really specialized in having affinity groups, like a Facebook, but like in 40 years
back
ago. So this was our DNA code, and we detect a kind of very interesting community, the innovators, the very early innovators, those who were thinking out of the box. So we could identify that community also. And when I had the opportunity to develop the pre-Galien through the creator in 1970, he said, well, you should maybe take the lead and develop pre-Galien. I decided just to switch, but at the end of the day, I do the same job in a way that we want to celebrate those innovators and to stimulate communities all around the globe.
Since the objective of foundation is to recognize the achievement done in improving human conditions, in future, does it plan to recognize besides pharma and medicine and acknowledge other fields as well, like prosthetic body replacements and many more, which too contribute equally in improving human conditions?
Absolutely. So yes, we are, historically the Prix Galien has three major categories, which was best biotech, best pharma, and best medical technologies. But with the revolution of IT, now we have developed a new category, digital health solution. As you know, there are many apps, and the patients, empowerment of patients, they use their own, I would say, watch to measure their tension, etc. This is really a big trend, so we have developed that new category. Then the startups, of course, as you know, that all the big pharmas, they have now a new business model, which is pure innovation comes from outside their company. So this is not only research inside the company. So they want to establish pathways with very innovative startups. So we created that category. And at the end of the day, the incubator category created in the USA just 2 years ago is really one of example of how dynamic and changing this ecosystem is. And having that category incubator is really to have an holistic approach from the idea to the patients. It's a long journey, the journey of innovation, and each step requires expertise and guidance. And this is why we had that new category, just to promote those incubators and then put them in touch with the new talents, those who will find the new drugs and new technologies in the future.
So is the foundation restricted to any continent, country, region, or is it truly global?
It's truly global, and it transcends. Innovation has no borders, because suffering has no borders. So this is really the message of the foundation. So we are really global, and we have few pieces in the world that we are still working on to make sure that we cover the 360 degrees worldwide. But it's right now we are really present where we need to be present, but we know that innovation will come from new players, new countries, and we don't want to miss that opportunity to be there when innovation will be born and will happen.
Sir, your contribution has been immense for this cause. What plans you have for future? Please enlighten us. Tell the viewers about it.
Well, that's a great question. And I would say that our honorary founding president, who was not a scientist, he was a philosopher, he received the Peace Nobel Prize in 1986. His name was Elie Wiesel. And the mission of the Gallian Foundation was really in his legacy, saying that you can celebrate innovation. This is your mission, to give recognition to those luminaries who found new drugs, new treatments. But at the end of the day, you have to make sure that those innovations are accessible to all and not be a privilege for a few. And this is really the supplement of soul of the Gallian Foundation mission, making sure that we address the needs and how can we help to give the best access to those great innovation to the maximum of people. And this is really his legacy. This is why in introduction, when you mentioned that we created the Jerusalem Ethics Forum, because at the end of the day, we do believe that in this new algorithmic world where ITs will play a major role and AI will be, and you know that this is all about AI right now, but at the end of the day, all the biggest challenges will come from how we address that on the ethical behavior, how we make sure that we respect ethics for the interest of the humankind. So this is our great challenges we need to face. And Elie Wiesel was a Peace Nobel laureate. In the chaos we are witnessing right now in the world, more than ever, I feel that this is someone whose legacy will be key to have a more peaceful world. So it will be, at the end of the day, science for peace.
You're doing great work, sir. It was really pleasure talking to you, and
Thank you
keep
very
doing the
much.
good work. Make world a better place. Thank you so much.
Thank you. It was a pleasure and an honor to be interviewed.
Same here, sir.